let's continue reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Wrecking Ball. We're getting close to the end, and it's been really cute. I've been enjoying the book myself. Okay, where am I? Okay, so we said that the buyers wanted them to get rid of the hot tub. Um, Now that I know for sure we're moving, I have totally different attitude, but she said I don't have to go to school. They could throw her in jail. Okay, so now we're on page 195. I realized that next year I won't be going to school with these kids, and that's what gave me the courage to finally tell Becky Anton that I liked her. So during biology, I told Becky I'd had a crush on her since fifth grade. But Becky went straight to the teacher, and 5 minutes later, I had a new lab partner. And I'm seriously thinking about the jail option again because I don't know if I can last the rest of the school year dealing with Kelson Garrity. Well, that stinks. That's not even my worst problem, though. Ever since I told Riley that we're officially moving, he's been a total mess. Even though he keeps promising he's not going to go all blubbery on me. The smallest thing can set him off. And even when he is keeping it together, he still says these little things that make me feel guilty about moving. I guess this is the last time we will ever eat grilled cheese sandwiches together. That's what he said at lunchtime. On the way home from school today, we had to walk in the grass because they just repaved the sidewalk. But that gave Riley an idea. He said we should write our names in the cement with a stick and put best friends underneath. It made me a little uncomfortable writing in something so permanent, though, especially since I didn't know what the friend situation would be in my new neighborhood. I didn't want to mention that to Riley because I knew it would set him off once again. So I wrote some extra stuff with the stick to give me a little wiggle room, just in case. Greg and Riley, best friends, currently. Saturday. School ended a week ago, and while everyone else is already enjoying their summer vacation, we've been packing. Mom created a binder and a schedule for everyone in the family, and we're all responsible for boxing up our own stuff. It's going to be tight, but we should be done by the time the moving trucks show up next weekend. The person who's taking the longest is Dad. He wants to make sure none of his Civil War figurines break, so he's using a whole roll of bubble wrap for each one. Mom's been hoping our neighbors would throw us a going away party, but with all the construction over the past month, we're not the most popular around here. So Mom decided we'd just throw a party for ourselves. The party was tonight. We'd sent out invitations to just about everyone on our street, and we set everything up in our yard. Roderick was excited because Mom and Dad were letting his band play, and they were even paying him. We were still busy setting up when the first guests started to arrive. I wasn't sure if I should even invite Rowley to the party because I was afraid he might have another breakdown, but I was actually really happy to see him. His parents seemed happy too, and I almost got the feeling they were glad I was moving. Riley said he had a gift for me, which was a giant collage with a bunch of pictures of us over the years. And I'm not going to lie, it got me a little choked up. Aw. I was kind of relieved that's all Riley's gift was, because the way he's been acting lately, I wouldn't be surprised if he gave me one of his fingers or something. Riley said I could hang the collage in my new bedroom to remind me of all the fun stuff we did together. And I don't know if there was a lot of pollen in the air tonight or what, but right then I think I got something in my eye. Things were getting a little too touchy-feely for me, though, so I was glad when more people started to arrive at the party. It picked up really fast from there. Roderick's band started playing out on the back deck, and the music attracted some teenagers who were at a high school graduation party a few doors down. Then it seemed like everyone on our street was at our party all at once, and it was crazy. Okay. Our party was pretty wild, but it was nothing compared to Manny's, and his party was still going strong when I turned in for the night. Sunday. I have to admit, last Saturday night, wait a minute. I have to admit that last night was a lot of fun, but I'm kind of sad because just when things were getting good around here, we're leaving. I was the first one in the house awake today, and when I looked out the window, I knew we were in for a long day of cleanup. I wish we still had that dumpster because that would have made things a whole lot easier. While I was looking over the front lawn, two big moving trucks pulled up along the curb. I was kind of confused because our move was still a week away. A few guys got out of the trucks, and one of them came to our front door, so I went out to meet him. What's going on now, I wonder? The man told me his team was ready to start putting our stuff into the trucks, and they needed to come inside the house. By now, Mom had come downstairs and was at the front door. She told the guy he was a week early and that the move wasn't until next Sunday. But he pulled out a contract that showed today's date as the moving day, and it had Mom's signature on the bottom. Mom told the guy she made a mistake and that we weren't ready to move yet. He told her the deposit was non-refundable and that if we didn't move today, we'd lose the money we already paid them. Now Mom was in a panic. She woke everyone up and told us to get packing. The movers said we had a 2-hour window to get everything onto the trucks, so we really had to hustle. Up to this point, we'd been really careful packing so nothing got damaged, but now there was no time for that. Now they're just throwing everything in boxes. The end is always the messy part. The movers really didn't care if our stuff got broken, and that's why it was probably a bad idea to let them pack up our dishes. Oh my goodness. Mom asked the movers to just focus on the furniture instead, and they went down to the basement to start there. Then someone rang the doorbell. It was the guy we hired to take the hot tub away, and his crane was parked in our front yard. With everything else going on at the house, this was pretty terrible timing. The crane operator explained that he couldn't get his vehicle into our backyard without running over our neighbor's flower garden. Oh, goodness. So his plan was to lift the hot tub over the house. Oh, my goodness. That sounded a little crazy to me, but I figured this guy probably knew what he was doing. What do you guys think? Do you think he knows what he's doing? That sounds pretty scary. Could you imagine? A hot tub is very heavy. Can you imagine that going through your ceiling? Goodness. I showed the guy where the hot tub was, and he put some straps around it. Then he attached the straps to a giant hook and lifted the hot tub off the deck. But when he tried to back his vehicle up, he couldn't because the movers had piled a bunch of furniture in our yard. So now the hot tub was dangling above our roof. As if the whole situation wasn't stressful enough already, all of a sudden Rowley showed up in my front yard. And of course, Rowley's crying. It's too much craziness going on right now here. But I didn't have time to deal with Rowley because I had a new problem. That guy from Worley Street had pulled up in front of our house and he was taking the furniture that the movers had left by the curb. Oh, goodness. And that's when I remembered it was Sunday, which is the day we leave our trash out. I tried to wave the guy off to make him go away, but the crane operator thought I was giving him a signal that it was okay to back up his vehicle, which is what he did. And that was the end of our living room couch. Crunch. The crane stopped, but the hot tub didn't. It started swinging in crazy circles above the house, and then it slammed into the chimney. Smash! Oh my goodness. So let's see, we've lost the couch, we lost the chimney. What else? The brick slid off the roof and just missed my parents, who had come outside to see what all the commotion was about. After that, I thought it was over because I couldn't imagine anything else happening, but something did. Some wasps had built a nest in our chimney, which explains why they were getting into the house all the time. And now they were loose, looking for revenge. We all ran for cover inside the house, but the crane operator wasn't quick enough to get away. The wasps flew in the cabin of his vehicle, which made him kick the lever that released the hot tub, which fell through the roof. And at that point, To tell the truth, I was kind of relieved because now I knew for sure that things really couldn't get any worse. Oh my goodness. I think things could get worse because maybe they can't sell the house now. Who wants a house like that? Let's see. Thursday. There was one bright spot from what happened over the weekend. It's that Roderick made it through the experience alive. The hot tub landed smack in the middle of his bedroom. So we thought he got crushed. But when the movers had hauled Roderick's bed out of the basement, they loaded it onto one of the trucks and took him with it. Everything else is bad news. The people who were supposed to buy our house pulled out, and that meant we couldn't afford the new one. So I guess that means we're stuck here for a while. To be honest with you, I'm not totally sure I was ready to move anyway. Looking for a new best friend would have been a huge hassle. And besides, there's so much more I needed to teach Rowley before I go. There's probably a lesson I could learn from the whole experience, like be happy with what you've got, or there's no place like home, or that sort of thing. But that's the kind of corny stuff they put in books for little kids. So here's the lesson I'm taking away from all this: don't be late for an old lady's funeral, because believe me, she'll make you pay. And that's the end. We finished it. I just want to bring this page up to you here. Here's where they were looking for Raleigh, thinking, not Raleigh, his brother. What's his brother's name? Roderick, right? They were looking for the brother, and they thought maybe he got hurt, but he was on the bed as they moved it, or they moved him right into the truck. So he's sleeping in the truck. That's silly. Hope you enjoyed the book. I sure did. And I look forward to reading more like this. Have a super day and keep reading.